Okay, these players forge the path for the next generation of stars. We will welcome into the National Football League starting tonight. Pittsburgh, this is the moment you've all been waiting for. Yin's ready? All right. The 2026 NFL Draft is officially open. The Las Vegas Raiders are on the clock.
Well, it cannot possibly get to any more Pittsburgh than that. Terry Bradshaw, Ben Roethlisberger, Mel Blount, Lynn Swann, Steeler legends on the stage to open up the festivities tonight. Not a lot of mystery at number one, but certainly a huge story is Fernando Mendoza. Waits to hear his name called. Adam Schefter. There are a lot of threads connecting him to the Raiders tonight. Schefter.
Well, Rudy, before last season began, Fernando Mendoza reached out to former NFL quarterbacks coach Brian Griese to help him get ready for his NFL career. They had connections before, and more have come into focus now. They both attended Christopher Columbus High School in Miami. They both led the Falcons to national championships. Mendoza, Indiana, and Griese at Michigan, where his backup was Tom Brady, who will work with Fernando Mendoza in Las Vegas and in San Francisco. Brian Griese worked side by side with an assistant coach named Clint Kubiak, who now becomes the Raiders head coach and will help usher along Mendoza. These connections have helped Mendoza get to the moment he is now. Their connections from Christopher Columbus High School in Miami to Tom Brady and Clint Kubiak in Las Vegas. Mendoza is set to hit the ground running.
All right, Shefty, obviously a special night, and you will hear from Mendoza as soon as his name is called. And now he will join this prestigious list of names in just a matter of moments. The only players ever to win the Heisman, win the national championship, and be the number one overall pick. Cam Newton, Jameis Winston, Joe Burrow, and in just a few moments, Fernando Mendoza. So, Mel, you and I would do the first draft podcast all year long with Field Yates. At the beginning of this season, I don't think anyone was expecting that Fernando Mendoza would be the first pick in this draft.
We were talking Arch Manning with the trifecta, which was, right, Heisman Trophy, national championship, and number one pick overall. Then it went to Dante Moore. He had that great game against Penn State up at Happy Valley late September. Then Fernando Mendoza goes from Cal to Indiana. You're watching him to see if he develops, see if he improves. Because they cut his sack total down. Goes 41 sacks in Cal in 11 games. Yes, he did. 25 sacks in 16 games. Clutch throws like that to Omar Cooper Jr. But a guy decision-making, late in plays, like right here. Flawless, cracking the code. He talked about that. How about mobility? How about beating teams with his legs? Look him in the pocket here. He waited out accurate throws to all levels. This kid, when he needed to come through in the clutch, he did game after game. So he ascended from late first, second round, all the way up where you were not going to deny that Fernando Mendoza is the best quarterback in this group and the best player overall right there with Jeremiah Love from Notre Dame. And to do what he did, the hits that he withstood, amazing toughness, the mobility. He had against Penn State, a quarterback draw for 10 yards on third down, 18-yard touchdown run. Everybody covered, taking up the middle for a touchdown against Penn State. Then that touchdown run on the quarterback draw against Miami showed change of direction, toughness, and athleticism. Make no mistake about it. The Las Vegas Raiders were fortunate that they had the number one pick, and there's a quarterback there of the quality of Fernando Mendoza. Historically, who's his grades? Eli Manning, same grade as Eli, same grade as Matt Ryan. That's Fernando Mendoza. Raider Nation beat that.
All right, bro. So they make a quarterback that'd be
of
great.
this caliber there in a division with Mahomes and Herbert and Knicks. You cannot be a distant four. You got to be right there. And this young man with that supporting cast that they're building with the Raiders has a chance to get there and match those quarterbacks in the AFC.
No one questions that he's the number one pick in this draft. But Booker, he's not a prospect. What things are you looking for?
Well, there's a couple of concerns. He led the nation in RPOs, and so there was a lot of predetermined stuff before the snaps. He threw a lot of back shoulder fades. And so when you're talking about how the NFL is going to make you play, the NFL is going to make you play post-snap. A lot of what he did was pre-snap. That's number one. And number two, guys, it's pretty simple. When you're the number one overall pick, You're going to be asked to carry the mail. You're going to be asked to be Peyton Manning, Andrew Luck, Cam Newton, Joe Burrow. Do we see this quarterback becoming one of those guys that can carry the team? Because when you're the first pick, you're going to be asked to do that at some point.
Well, I don't think that he is uniquely qualified to go ahead and carry the football team. When I went out to Indiana for their pro day, the number one thing that they said was, do not underestimate his leadership ability. Here's another guy who exhibited tremendous leadership ability during his time in the NFL, and that was Drew Bledsoe, a former number one overall as well, who had about 6'5", 240 pounds. Quite honestly, I played against Bledsoe. He looked just like Fernando Mendoza. The deep ball, the ability to throw it on time, in rhythm, put it with touch, throw it with touch, and be able to just drop it in the bucket with wide receivers. Pete hasn't finished the play. Drew Bledsoe, you're going to see it here. This is all full tape now. This is the kind of tape that I love, Mel. This old ass the kind that just ripped the skin off it. Drew Bledsoe used to steal back then. Fernando Mendoza is going to steal for Las Vegas Raiders. They should be absolutely ecstatic that they got someone of this
Hey,
talent.
did anybody think that Joe Burrow or Peyton Manning could carry a team when they came out? I don't think so. There were questions, right? They answered those questions and they got on to help with their teammates.
Fernando Mendoza led Indiana to the greatest season ever in the history. I think he can handle it.
Fernando Mendoza was not born the last time the Raiders won a playoff game. That was January 19th of 2003. Mendoza was born in October of that year, and he has been waiting seemingly every day since for the moment that is now about to arrive. The commissioner on his way to the podium to announce the first pick in this 2026 NFL Draft.
With the first pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Las Vegas Raiders select Fernando Mendoza, quarterback, Indiana.
There's the party at his house, both inside and as you see there outside. And then a celebration is also on at Christopher Columbus High School nearby, where Fernando Mendoza once taught. That's a celebration in a nearby watch party as well. Listen, if there has been a better story in college football history than Indiana in 2025, I have not heard it, and Fernando Mendoza had the starring role. Here he is tonight, finally, the number one pick in the draft, and he is standing by now with our Taylor McGregor for his initial impressions on being the number one pick in this draft. Taylor.
Well, thank you so much. In the last 5 months, you have won the Heisman Trophy, a national championship, and now you're the first overall pick in the NFL Draft. How have the last 5 months changed your life?
The last 5 months has been such a blessing by God, and I can't thank him enough. I'm just looking forward to get to work, prove at the next level. College was fantastic. I'm so blessed to have that career, but now I step into a great team, the NFL. Look forward to proving and earning it every single day.
You're going to the Las Vegas Raiders. What excites you the most about this opportunity?
What a great organization, great legacy. There's so many great teammates I'm looking forward to talking to, coaches, owners. I'm ecstatic for the opportunity.
Congratulations.
Thanks so much. God bless.
And so Fernando Mendoza, the number one pick in the draft, that's the portion of the evening that we had foreseen. Now let the unexpected begin. Mel Kiper, the New York Jets go on the clock, and pretty much all the conversation has centered around the two defensive ends, David Bailey and Arvell Reese. What are your expectations for the Jets here?
Arvell Reese, I'll tell you what, you look at him physically, he is central casting for a off-ball linebacker and edge rusher. Can he become Micah Parsons, move outside and get 10 to 15 sacks a year? We don't know that. He has to learn, as he said, how to rush the passer. He didn't have a sack over the final 6 games. He didn't have a forced fumble in his career. But he made a lot of big plays. He's got a ton of talent, off ball or edge. You got the fallback. If he can't become the great edge rusher, he's an off ball linebacker. With David Bailey, he was a good player at Stanford. He wasn't a great player. He was a phenomenal player at Texas Tech in this one season. Can't help around him, but 11 games this year, he had a sack. Now, playing a run, that's going to be something he needs to obviously just do in the NFL. You can't be a one-trick pony in the NFL. You can't. So you have enough of that with the Jets. Somebody's got to stop the run. He's got to step up if he's the guy. Reese, to me, I had a slightly higher grade on the Bailey for that reason. He is so young. He's 2 years younger, Reese is, than David Bailey. He's 20. He'll be 21 in September. David Bailey is going to be 23 in September. So for me, slight edge to Arbel Reese. I had Sonny Styles slightly ahead of David Bailey as well. But I'll tell you what, if you want the guy proven and ready to go off the edge, it's Bailey. If you want the guy that in a year or two, once he learns, can be phenomenal, can be Micah Parsons-like, that's Arbel Reese.
For a team like the New York Jets that hadn't had an interception since I had hair, they need somebody that can rush the passer and make the football come out. I understand what Arbel Reese is, and he may be, the sky's the limit for him, but they need somebody now that can make the ball come out. David Bailey is a proven commodity. We had this conversation a few years ago. Aiden Hutchinson or Trayvon Walker? Do you want the ceiling and the potential, or do you want the guy that knows how to get it done and the perception of a David Bailey? I'm going to lean toward David Bailey with the 14.5 sacks. So,
Look, I mean, the statistics are not in the Jets' favor. You're right. Sack percentage, pressure percentage, they're one of the worst in the NFL. You know what else they were worse in terms of taking the ball away? People who can make plays on the ball. Getting absolutely bludgeoned in the middle of the field by running back. They're the worst defense in the NFL as far as linebacker play on the second level. They need both of these guys. The question is, what do they prioritize?
The pick is here, and I'll remind you, the Jets have 2 picks in the first round tonight. That will be number 16, barring the trade.
Just picked
forward of that,
up.
but here they are to make this
No,
second
they just
pick in the
signed,
draft as the commissioner makes his way to the microphone where he will announce the New York Jets selected
That's
for
great.
their
They just
man
signed.
sitting eagerly and waiting directly in the
What's his
front.
name? And they picked the quarterback. Same shit the Falcons did
With the
last
second
month.
pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the New York Jets select David Bailey, linebacker, Texas Tech.
Linebacker. Oh, that's the edge. That's the
There he is, New York.
second pick though.
He's the first Texas Tech player selected in the top 5 in the common draft era, and boy, do the Jets need him. They had only 26 sacks last year, 31st in the NFL, and Bailey was a beast. 14.5 sacks for a ferocious defense that led the Red Raiders to the 4th seed in the college football playoff, tied for the most sacks in the nation. Bailey was a consensus All-American. He transferred Mel after graduating from Stanford.
He did.
At
He
2?
forced fumbles over the last 2 years. 5 in 2024 at Stanford, 3 this past year. He became a dominant edge
What's the
rusher
number
at
2
Texas
pick?
Tech. Now, he had some help. Lee Hunter inside defensive tackle. Good player. And Romello Height on the other side. He had Jacob Rodriguez on ball. He had defensive backs who were transferring in to help that defense. But David Bailey took his game to a new level. As I said, in 11 games,
We had
he
14
sacks.
sacks.
The consistency off the edge was there. He's got to step up against the run for the Jets. That's got to be a big factor of whether he is a Pro Bowl caliber player. If you're drafting number 2 ahead of Reese and ahead of Styles, you've got to have that type of facility for. He's got to show that right away.
well, no doubt. And I think if you look at the Jets, they decided they want somebody that can get it done now. Nothing against Arbel Reese, but David Bailey
no,
is showing
man. I think this is
that
bad
he
pick.
can get it done and be an immediate
Yes.
pass rusher in the National
Bad
Football League.
pick.
So
This
what's he
is
going to bring
not-
to the New York Jets that are going from a 4-3 now to a 3-4? Let's start with something that I love. You have to be able to threaten the offensive tackle with the get off. Can you get off before the tackle moves and the ball is snapped? That gives you an opportunity to get your rush going, and then you get the rip and you get to the quarterback. That's an easy win. And can you bend the corner? That requires athletic ability, ankle flexing, dipping the inside shoulder, and then you have to have the burst to
You're
get to
too
the
slow.
quarterback and to finish. And here's the thing that I love. It's an array of moves. Why is he the best pass rusher?
For a decent-
Not only can he beat you with speed, here's the spin move. All you need is two moves. You need a fastball and a counter Lewis. He's got the speed and the spin. He's the most ready-made rusher for the Jets.
Oh, yeah, and he went up against some pretty darn good tackles as well. He went up against the Honda at Arizona State final at Utah. And the thing is, he can set the edge against the run. He just needs
This
to do
is
it.
a C joint right here.
All right, again, a player the Jets desperately need. They will select again later in this.
Oh, they got
round,
another
but
pick.
right now,
Okay, so
Marion
they
Bonvoy checks us down to Laura, who's standing by with David Bailey.
got another pick.
David, you've worked so hard for this, and now you're the first defensive player off the board in the NFL draft. What does it mean to hear your name called this early?
I mean, it's surreal to me, man. This is a great experience. This is an awesome opportunity, and I'm just so grateful, man. Shout out all the fans that came out here. I'm just happy to be here.
How will you immediately impact this Jets defense?
Man, I just want to get in there and just be a sponge, just soak up everything, just, rely on the vets, rely on the staff to make me the best player I can and, help out this organization. Man,
I think we're going to fuck
this
around.
organization's training in the right way, so,
I just know
man, I'm just ready to work.
All right, and David, in the last minute, Topps has made your first pro trading card, so go over there and sign it, okay? Congrats.
Laura, thank you very much. David Bailey is a New York Jet. The Arizona Cardinals are on the clock, and Adam Schefter is standing by with more. Schefter, go.
The Jets had 26 sacks last year, which is the fewest the team had had since 1999. They were looking for the best pass rusher in this draft, and they felt that was David Bailey. It also helped that they had 3 coaches on staff who were at Stanford when David Bailey was there. Those coaches helped bring a unique insight to the Jets that helped them make the pick that they helped turn around this franchise.
So,
They done got rid of what's
talking
his name,
about
didn't
really before we went down to the interview.
Connor,
Can you
that
believe
was
the
what's his
Jets
name,
got this right? It was a difficult decision, or at least it was one that was much discussed in New York and around them between Bailey and Arvell Reese in the end before we move forward to the Cardinals. Do you agree with the decision the Jets made?
Yeah, I do, simply because of this. Look, offenses hunt for explosive plays, right? Every offensive coordinator wants to be able to win a game with a guy who can win it on one play. On defense, how do you win games on one play? Either you turn it over or you put a quarterback on his back. Nobody puts a quarterback on their back better than David Bailey. So that's where they figure that's a great place to start. Let's get the best pass rusher in the NFL, or rather in college football last year. We project he'll be able to do that in the NFL. He has to earn the right to rush the passer. He's got to take care of first and second down. And we've seen with those long arms that he has, he's more than capable of setting the edge. And they're going to demand that so he can then go ahead and do what he does best, which is win games by putting quarterbacks down.
Okay, we told you the cadence is going to be quicker this year, only 8 minutes rather than 10. And
Let's give that
so
pick.
now
They
the
got no
Arizona
picks.
Cardinals on the clock now, and as they make their selection, there's been so much speculation about the possibility they go to the running back here. Is this too early for Jeremiah Love to come off the board?
Absolutely not. He's the second best player on my board. He's right there with Fernando Mendoza. What's this team need? They need juice. They need to energize the fan base. They have no identity. It's a bland football team, right? That's the Arizona Cardinals. Look at Jeremiah Love. He's much more than a running back. I said you can put 84 on that jersey. Could have been a first-round pick. Slot, wide. He can catch the ball. He had runs of 36 or more yards in 7 games. He had runs of 29 or more yards in 8 games in 2024. He's 20 years of age. He never fumbled. He is a great young man for Arizona. If you were just
Run back, we got
Oh, you
last year.
motherfuckers.
What we got last year.
Oh, y'all about to fuck the whole scheme up. Y'all take the love for free.
Gotta get a quarterback in that division.
Running back we got last
Yeah,
year.
I ain't got no quarterback either. Y'all take a running back?
This kid is going to automatically get Marvin Harrison.
You some trashy motherfucker.
This kid can play big time football.
I'm good. I mean,
All right, we will find out if indeed that is the selection that they make. We'd anticipated perhaps a trade up to this spot. Does not appear we've had that. The Cardinals pick is indeed in. The Titans are on the clock, and the commissioner is making his walk to the podium to announce pick number 3. The Arizona Cardinals fans standing in anticipation.
With the third pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Arizona Cardinals select Jeremiah Love.
Oh, shit. It went 3.
Notre Dame.
I thought he would have went 5.
They really did it. We had heard so much speculation over the last few weeks that this would be the selection. And there it is. What a special season.
He comes in the league
Jeremiah
as a
Love
fucker
has
like
with the
this.
Irish last year, over 1,600
They
yards.
fuck the money
Total
up.
offense in a
He
school
comes in the
record,
league and like
21
he can be like the first and
a unanimous
second
All-American,
highest
third
paid
in
running
Heisman,
back.
the first Notre Dame player ever to win the
There's no
Doak Walker
positional value
Award
there.
as the top running back in the nation. And now, Mel, he is the third pick. Lewis, I should say, in the NFL draft.
Like every single offensive coordinator, quarterback coach, running back coach, head coach wants guys who can win games with one swing. Jeremiah Love is that. He's more than a running back. I know people don't want to believe it, but he's more than a running back. He is a weapon. He is a guy who can create plus 20-yard explosives at the blink of an eye, and you see it right there. Just 2 years ago, we watched Saquon Barkley hoist the Philadelphia Eagles on his back with his ability to create explosives in the run game. That is what Arizona is after. This draft has got some pretty good offensive line depth. They're going to have to go to work. And look, they don't play football till September, but they better fix the offensive line. There's no question about that. But you cannot pass up guys like this. If you told
Okay, with no
Arizona
line.
Cardinals, hey,
Done.
we'll give you Christian McCaffrey, we'll give you Bijan Robinson, we'll give you Jahmyr Gibbs. Do you think they wouldn't take them right now in the heartbeat? Those guys are difference makers. This kid fits right into that mold. I cannot wait to see him go ahead and infuse that organization with some juice, Mel, like you talked about. Because that's what he's going to bring.
He's fear factor all the way. If he's going to make defensive coordinators, that's some restless left figuring out, okay, where is he going to be? In a backfield slot? Or is he wide? That doesn't fumble the football. What I want to see is remember Chargers got LaDainian Tomlinson, then Drew Brees. I'm not saying Ty Simpson's going to be Drew Brees, but do they pair Jeremiah Love with Ty Simpson by trading him to Lakeford or taking him at pick number 34?
So now let's take a look at Jeremiah Love as he joins the commissioner. He's the third running back selected in the top three in the last 20 years, joining Saquon Barkley and Trent Richardson.
You see it, kid. Remember Tony Dorsett, 99 yards on a Monday night against the Vikings? This kid, you watch him here. What is he going to do? He's going to take it to the house. This kid is awesome.
99 yards.
Dynamic. He had, like I said, all those runs over 29 yards. He took 15 runs the last 2 years that were game breakers. Where he caught the ball. You watch him. So smart a football player out of the backfield. Catches everything. Now after the catch, forget about it. As I said, never fumbled the football at Notre Dame.
We always have this conversation. Love the player. The Arizona Cardinals, we're supposed to build our team inside out, front to back. They got James Conner, they got Tyler Earfield in the offseason. Now you got Jeremiah Love. It just seems to me that point about this, building this team in a different way than I love the players, but I disagree with the team for Arizona.
Well, look, they still do need to build their team front to back. And they need to be strong down the middle. But again, there's more depth on the offensive line in this draft. They're going to have to go to work on and try and get some of it, but you can't pass this kid up.
Let's go down to the stage. Marriott Bonvoy brings us there. Laura is standing by with Jeremiah Love. Laura.
Jeremiah, your dad was your first ever coach. He's instilled so much confidence in you over the years. How special is this night and this moment for the two of you?
It's very special. You know, my dad was the first person that believed in me, and he did sacrifice a lot to get me to this point. So I got to pay him back, got to pay my family back, and I'm looking forward to get to work in Arizona. You feel me?
I feel you. You are the first running back to be taken in the top 5 since 2018. Why will your skill set translate to the NFL?
I mean, it's just a blessing, you know. I feel very honored to represent the running backs, and I'm going to put on for them. I'm going to put on for all football players. I'm going to put on for Notre Dame. I'm going to put on for my family. And last year, I'm going to put on for the Cardinals. We're going to do some special things together.
Congratulations, Jeremiah.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Jeremiah Love and Mel Kiper, you have been saying for years you don't draft a running back in the first round, and now all of a sudden here you are celebrating the selection of a running back by the Arizona Cardinals at number 3. I don't even know who you are anymore.
A Dapper guy, Brady, right? That's what they say. But I'm a Dapper big-time all-purpose facts. And that's what he is. I disagree with you, folks. On this note, talk about a guy first. Can't reach for a now we know what's happening out of Miami. Can't reach for any of the offensive line. You got a guy at the top three. Jeremiah Love. Then Jeremiah Love. Then you got with new coach Robert Saleh, you see him there in the center of all of it. They could go a number of different directions here, Booger. What are you anticipating?
Well, they can go one of two ways. They can get somebody on the defensive side of the football to line up next to Jeffrey Simmons and help him, or do you pair somebody with Cam Ward, the number one pick last year, and try to help somebody on the offense? They got to help their star players. You're going to help Cam Ward or you're going to help Jeffrey Simmons. Which way do they go?
All of those great Ohio State defensive players remain on the board if that's the direction that Robert Saleh chooses to go. Arvell Reese, Sonny Styles, Caleb Downs, all of them expected to be drafted early here tonight off that
Last year they
outstanding
got a quarterback.
Buckeye
Ain't no way.
defense. Well, that
They
could
could
be
definitely go on defense.
Tennessee goes. We'll find out in a moment. Here he is. The commissioner Roger Goodell making his way to the podium to announce
Unless one of those wide receivers
number 4.
worth the third pick. Ain't none of those.
With the fourth pick
Or
in
the
the
fourth pick.
2026 NFL Draft, the Tennessee Titans select Carnell Tate.
Oh, you
Receiver.
red nigga. Ooh, we might take Jordan. What's his name?
Wow. That one
They took
sends a
Tate
charge
at
through
4?
this crowd. And wide receiver used
No,
strikes
all the
again.
damn defensive players.
Carnell Tate
So
is the
Styles
6th
falling.
Buckeyes
Who
wide
got traded?
receiver to get drafted
Yeah,
in
well,
the
I'm trying to
first
tell you,
round in the last
Oh, they got
5
4?
drafts.
They got
So,
a quarterback
Dane,
last year.
Games
Reese,
opposite Jeremiah Smith in
Dane,
the past 2 seasons.
Reese,
Caught 103
Downs,
balls for 13 touchdowns. Now,
Delane.
he's ready to go.
Oh, we're not
down.
trading.
Yeah,
Yeah,
looks like
matter of
the
fact,
runner,
we
great
might
game,
trade
great
because we got
character,
our fucking
great
pick.
approach, the way he tracks the deep ball. So for Cam Ward, the key guys is getting Cam Ward at an elite level. He
Well,
showed
I think we're on
mid-season
time,
late he could be that guy quarterback for the Tennessee Titans. Carnell
I
Tate
knew it
qualifies
because
as a
they
safe
picked the
pick. You know what you get?
quarterback
By the way,
last
he
year.
also blocked as well. Very unselfish.
But he
player.
needed a
Had a
receiver
great
too,
year
so now they
for
got
Ohio
him and
State.
the receiver
Jeremiah Smith
linked
certainly
up.
helped out. Jeremiah Smith will be one of the top 3 players drafted next year. This kid's had some help certainly to Ohio State with Smith being that item you find everybody had to worry about. But for Carnell Tate, he checks the boxes. He's not, I think, he's an elite receiver that you think about in the top 5, but you know what you're getting.
What is
You're
him,
going
bro?
to get a solid guy. He doesn't drop the football.
Yeah, look, and you talk all the time about how do you help out young quarterbacks. You got to get them weapons. You got to get them weapons. You got to get them weapons. Their number one wide receiver last year, Alec Ayumanu, who I saw at Stanford a couple years ago. He led the team as far as wide receivers are concerned with 515 yards. Only one other team had a wide receiver who led the team with less yardage. I mean, with more yardage. Just above 500. That's the New York Jets. So they need more weapons. On the perimeter. This guy is filthy smooth now. Filthy smooth. And he catches everything. What a great pick for Cam Ward. I promise you, he's happy right now.
And when you understand what new offensive coordinator Brian Daboll is going to do, I think he loves Cam Ward. He wanted to pick Cam Ward when he was the head coach of New York Giants. Now you have Cam Ward and your quarterback when you're the offensive coordinator at Tennessee. And I think now he has a weapon on the outside. And so you get an opportunity to fairly build your young quarterback. You got to get your young quarterback a playmaker, and Carnell Tate. Now, he's going to be asked to be the number 1. At Ohio State, he wasn't the one. How does he adjust when the coverage is lower than him? How does he
Trey
adjust
wasn't the one
when
at
the
Ohio
game plan
State.
is from him? That's something he's going to have to adjust to. But as far as being a solid state guy,
I'm
he
gonna
catches the
wasn't
football
one.
with his hand. He understands how to run
In
around.
college.
And I don't care
I mean,
about
we
the
got
speed.
talent.
He knows how to separate. Just look at the balls that he went deep on and beat DB after DB for deep balls in the Big Ten.
So Carnell Tate becomes the first Ohio State player off the board
Right.
in this draft. I'm not sure how many people saw that coming. With Arvell Reese available and Sonny Styles
might got
available
trades
and
coming up.
Caleb Downs available,
They will take Sonny
Carnell Tate
Styles.
becomes the second receiver drafted in the top 4 in the last
They might take a
decade.
receiver. They
Marvin
might.
Harrison Jr., also from Ohio State, was the other. Harriet Bonboy takes us down to Laura, who's standing by with Carnell Tate.
Carnell, what do you want your new quarterback Cam Ward to know about what you'll bring to this Titans offense?
I'm a reliable target for him. Whenever he needs me, I'm there for him. I'm always open.
You had a really incredible moment where you wanted to honor your late mom, Ashley, tonight. Can you show us how you had her name inscribed on the inside of your jacket? And as you're showing us, how did she help you achieve your dreams that you wanted to achieve, but that were also her dreams.
Yeah, that's my mom. She's my everything. She's my rock. She's my world. If it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be here. She sacrificed everything for me. I'm forever indebted to her.
I know she'd be so proud tonight, Cornell. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well, that is what this night is about. It is about the fates and fortunes of every team in the NFL being reshaped, and it is about the wildest dreams of these young men and their families coming true directly before your eyes. Mendoza, Bailey, Love, and Tate are the first four. The New York Giants are on the clock. You're watching the NFL Draft on ESPN.
Can I get a Bud Light? Sorry, the bar's not open yet. Oh, it's not for me. It's for the bride. She said, can I get the clean, crisp taste of Bud Light? Her words, not mine.
That's crazy. They got grilling like a motherfucker all week.
She wants three.
Oh my God. We grill every day this week.
For the clean, crisp taste, the Bud Light.
Sarah
Tuesday.
Brandon Cole, Jablonski Autobahn LLC.
What'd she call her?
Canadian Jablonski Autobahn. Yeah, I don't see it.
He actually sold the Twins naming rights.
You know, like stadiums do. Kids are so expensive these days. Here it comes.
Oasis Breeze Tan and Spa.
Need a tan? I'm your man.
Do business with you.
Or we can look at some investment options for you.
Pork strips.
The right money moves aren't as absurd as you think.
What did you bring back from your last trip? A dumpling you'll never forget. What nature truly feels like. A bit of local art. A soulmate for the week. Finding out you love a good poncho. And glamping. And that durian is everything they say it is. Everywhere you go with Marriott Bonvoy shapes you, making you the greatest souvenir of all. Explore our entire world of hotel brands and experiences.
Your to-do list? Done by us. Introducing Home Care Plus subscription for $99 a year. Members get more at Lowe's.
Nationwide is so much more than a great insurance company. They're also one of America's largest financial services companies too. Just like I'm so much more than Peyton Manning.
Oh, the Chiefs
I'm
just
also
traded up.
motivating Manning. I want everyone here to know that you too can.
They might be taking a line back, but we took their line back.
Sure can. Marine biologist?
NFL quarterback.
Kind of a niche skill set,
Chiefs
but I believe in you. My insurance and financial needs nationwide is on your side.
In life and in business, the goalposts often move. But at Accenture, we say, game on. Because whatever goal you're heading for, together,
Oh shit!
we'll get there.
They traded up to take the lane. It's a lot of tight
Turn the offseason on again with the NFL.
So we next.
Your
We
home
on
for
top.
all things NFL.
It is time for football.
Get the news, the highlights, and deeper access with a subscription to NFL Plus. For the picks, the moves, the plays.
The TV behind.
All in one place.
Downs, and bang.
All year long. Welcome home. Scan now and score 40% off NFL Plus.
Take on, you got to worry about taking the receiver.
Welcome back to Pittsburgh, the National Football League Draft. The New York Giants selection is in at number 5. And here comes the commissioner, Roger Goodell, to make the announcement. We can see he's brought some special guests along there.
Okay, yeah, because we on clock.
Again, they gave up a 3 and a 5 in this year's draft to do it. The Commanders are on the clock with 6 and change left, and the commissioner has the Giants pick with some guests.
In partnership with the Tragedy Assistance Program for Survivor, TAPS, one of the NFL Salute to Service partners, we are honored to recognize the surviving family of United States Army Major Paul C. Volke. Major Volkey sustained tragic fatal injuries while deployed in Afghanistan. He is survived by his spouse, Tracy, and their two sons, Andrew and Benjamin. Major Volkey was raised in the Hudson Valley and was a lifelong fan of the New York Giants, a tradition he proudly passed on to his sons. Volkey family, take it away.
With the 5th overall pick of the 2026 NFL Draft, the New York Football Giants select Arvell Reese, linebacker from the Ohio State University.
So Arvell Reese does go off the board, but it's 5th overall. The Giants partners, if you will, at MetLife, their neighbors chose David Bailey, leaving Arvell Reese on the board, and he dropped all the way down to 5, and he's going to be a New York Giant. Daniel?
That's an embarrassment of riches. Now they can rush the quarterback for the New York Giants. I know Dexter Lawrence is no longer there, but when you already have Burns and Abdul Carter, Thibodeau's still there at the moment, and now you add another one, and these guys are all elite athletes. We think of the last 2 Super Bowl winners. They both won Super Bowls, not just based on talent, but the depth of their defensive front. Now this is also the Giants team that's extremely deep up front.
Drafted the number one motherfucker's name last
defensive front.
Abdul
Being
Carter.
able to go get the quarterback.
Now you drafted another.
People, especially during the
Like, we
playoffs.
even put these people on.
Seems like they're
You gotta pay all that. You figure that out. We had four number one. That don't even make sense. But they all edges. Hey, we had
big time.
Thibodeau, four number one in every position. Thibodeau, I think he was the edge. Thibodeau edge. He edge. But they got rid of Dexter Lawrence. But then they picked up somebody else.
One-year starter
That's
for
it.
Ohio State, but Matt Patricia found out.
They did downsize. They got rid of
Ohio
Lawrence.
State, obviously a long-time NFL
that's
defensive
defensive
coordinator, and he immediately knew what he had with Arvell Reese, which was a versatile game record.
So you got Thibodeau,
He deployed him
you got
right away.
Abdul
He
Carter.
won against Texas and Arch Manning.
Last
He
year.
was out there using him in
This year you gonna do it again?
That's what I would say would be his best usage going into the football league would be positionless. You create something for Arvell Reese and multiple athleticism to really take hold. I think he's a guy that's in a Michael Parsons type of mold. This is a really, really good football player that is very raw, Rich. Let's get to the highlights. I can show you what he looked like on that field, as Joe was mentioning at Ohio State. Just that 1 year as a starter, but he packed a lot into that 1 year. You see him off the ball and on the ball. The versatility shows up in every game. How about the ability to pursue laterally? Big time, explosive burst to get there. You see that again, the pursuit, able to win off the edge, and then that closing
Real
two
for him.
steps,
He a
can
lot
really
real
get
strong
going.
set.
And this is the difference between him and Bailey. He's got a little more knockback power. You see it as a bull rusher. You also see it as a point of attack in the run game. And then you want to bluff a little bit here. We're not dropping in coverage. We're going to add on to this rush and get Arch Manning on the ground. There is a ton of ability with him. He is just scratching the surface. And guys, at that pro day, John Harbaugh looking at him, CD, I think he saw something he liked there in that pro day.
Nothing question about it. He's a Giant now, and he's going to want to play like a Giant. And Joel, I think you really hit on it. Have to be positionless. It'd be interesting how they dole out the assignments for him and gets him wrapped up before he gets on to the next thing.
Time for Welcome to Prime Time, presented by Nationwide.
Arvell, what did the Giants share with you about how they plan to utilize you in their defense?
The Giants told me they're going to get unique with me. They said they're going to use me in a bunch of unique ways, so I'm looking forward to that.
It hasn't been easy for you, this journey. What can you say about those that have helped you all the way back to your days at Glenville High School in Ohio?
Yeah, I can't say nothing but thank you. It's a bunch of childhood coaches I had.
I can live with that.
My parents, my family, my brothers.
I can live
All
with
I can say
that.
is thank you.
Sonny Styles.
Yeah.
They give us that around black.
Congratulations.
I appreciate it.
All right,
Sonny
so the top
Styles.
five the Browns again traded down.
Leo
The
Schmidt.
Chiefs split. The third round, 74th overall. Fifth round, 148th overall. The
Got two new names, but still got players.
That news. Ian Rappaport, there's the Trey, between the Chiefs and the Browns, I'll ask you what you think
Yeah, I'm
about
having that front
Let's
seven.
talk about the Kansas City Chiefs being among the most aggressive teams. Of course, they do have 2 first rounders, a couple possibilities here.
Oh,
Ruben
yeah.
Bain is an edge that they really like with
Oh,
potentially be coming up for him. I know a corner is the need. LSU's Mansour Delane, surely an option. And an offensive tackle has not gone yet. They could get the first offensive tackle off the board. So really good option for an aggressive Kansas City team.
Meanwhile, the Washington Commanders took almost all 8 of their minutes to make the 7th overall selection as we're waiting for the 6th overall pick that belongs now to the Chiefs because, again, they traded up from 9. The New Orleans Saints, 8th overall, are taking their allotted time right now, under 6.5 minutes to go until that pick is in. Here comes the commissioner with the Chiefs' 6th overall pick. Top 5 is already in the books with some surprises.
With the 6th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Kansas City Chiefs select Mansour Delane, defensive back, LSU.
So out with Trent McDuffie for the 29th overall pick that they own later on tonight. He's now a Los Angeles Ram, and in comes a highly talented corner out of LSU.
Yeah, and this is something you might want to get used to. In 2022, the Chiefs selected 5 defensive backs when they had some holes to fill. This was clearly the top guy, especially because there's some uncertainty around Jermon McCoy's knee. I think because of that, they felt the need they needed to get him. And when you look at why they made the trade, the Commanders and the Saints, they don't need tackles, they need corners. So that's why they felt the need to part with those picks and go up and secure the, without a doubt, top corner in this year's draft class.
And I'm glad you addressed why, because a lot of people would look at it and say, you might have been able to stick at 9 and get him. That was the thing about a lot of mock drafts. But DJ articulated so well. Washington and New Orleans both can be in the corner market. And there might be someone else who might have been up there.
This Sunny style, baby.
Their teams or whoever selected them are going through, almost like Notre Dame play like a champion today as they head out to the stage. But
Animals.
Improvement, Joel.
You about to have 3 animals in linebacker.
We saw it opening night against Clemson. That's when it goes. We said, oh, he's going to be a different guy here. He's a different guy all year long.
Yeah, exactly right. It turned into a unanimous All-American. His ball production was fantastic. 31 pass breakups in his career. So he knows how to go after the football. Great football character and work ethic. That's what you get from the Patriots.
I just remember when you go back to when McDuffie was coming out, it's like, he's a perfect player. He just doesn't have that rare size and length. And McDuffie, we know what he's become. I see some similarities here. He is always in phase, very sticky in man coverage. You referenced this game against Clemson, CD. You couldn't slip a piece of paper between him and the receivers in that game.
Oh,
He's
shit.
outstanding.
No
He's
shit.
very smooth and fluid, and he can close the space. He ran in the high 4.3s, and that shows up. If you want to use any type of scheme zone, no problem. He's going to see it.
So Diana Cedar was cheating on her husband.
Play. So McDuffie was incredibly
She had a
smart.
kid and named the kid after
Added another incredibly smart DB to replace him.
Yeah, he clues really well. He sees it from wherever he is, able to react, fall off into coverage, do all those things, any tackle.
And Rich, you got to imagine Kansas City doesn't think they're going to pick in the top 10 much, so they went after it. They went and got the guy that they wanted. It cost them a 3 and a 5, and here's Laura Rutledge.
I'm sorry, you just said, wow, this is crazy. The Chiefs traded up to get you. What did they tell you about why you were so important to them?
Sure, really just the way I play the game, this confidence they have in me.
Yeah.
They weren't really on me too much in this process, but they said they just wanted to keep it quiet and make that sneak move, and they made the best move in the draft, so I'm excited.
You were once a little boy dreaming of this very night where you would become an NFL player. What would that little boy say now?
Man, don't stop now. Don't stop now. You got what you dreamed of, but, man, let's make a mark on this league.
Congratulations.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
It is one of those nights. Mansour Delane, the first corner taken. And again, the Commanders used almost all 8 of their minutes. I was watching that, clocking that as the Saints just made their pick. And that pick is in as well. We're about to get the Commanders pick. One would think, what do you think they would cartwheel Sonny Styles' card to the podium?
I think it's a heck of a value. At this point in time, he's my 3rd overall player to be there for the Commanders at pick 7. He's got a team that's pretty good.
Y'all not saying who?
Well, the Commanders, the hosts of next year's draft, slated to be held on the the Washington Mall, by the way.
Oh, I'm definitely in.
Have their latest pick in right now in the hands of the commissioner.
It's Sunny Style, baby. You got one animal. You got 3 animals at linebacker. I don't know. It's still getting big linebacker.
And the Browns are currently on the clock.
The Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year Award, presented by Nationwide, is awarded to one player each year and celebrates their profound impact on and off the field. I'm joined on stage by former winners Lynn Swan and Jerome Bettis. And the league welcomed its newest member to the prestigious club 2 months ago, Super Bowl champion and 6-time All-Pro Bobby Wagner. Very good, Bobby. On behalf of the Payton family and Nationwide, I encourage players drafted this week to make their community and the league a better place. You want to go for it or you want me? With the 7th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Washington Commanders select Sonny Styles, linebacker, Ohio State.
So the third Buckeye in the first 7 is coming out of the green room. There's
That's the guy when I want 244. 4, 6, 40. Oh yeah, you add in with Lubu and Chanel. Ooh wee! I like
this one is just made for Dan Quinn, right?
I talked to Adam Peters this last week, the general manager in Washington. I was talking about Sonny Styles and how he would be a perfect fit for Robert Saleh because he had been around Fred Warner in San Francisco. Well, Adam Peters had been around Fred Warner too. I just didn't think there was any chance Sonny Styles would be there for him to take. And so they take him right off the board. He's got a physical presence. He's a former safety.
That's what I'm talking about, Joe.
You see
I
him
need
working
that.
downhill. He's not afraid of contact. But
Oh,
he can
yeah.
also shoot gaps and make plays on the other side of the line of scrimmage. This was the question mark here. As a former safety, to take guys on, he shows he has the ability to do that, and then that legit speed.
That's
shows
Urlacher right there. I
not
want
only
to
in coverage, but when you want to
We don't need
add
that
rushers,
defense,
at 24, he was very electric
Huh?
when they used
We don't
him as a
play that
blister.
defense.
So a versatile chest piece for a
Hey.
defense that was pretty bad last year in Washington.
Everybody trying to do a main man.
As you see the kid of a guy you won the Super Bowl with get emotional walking to the stage.
It starts with obviously our whole deal. Critical to see our senior there, shaking the hand, giving a hug to the son. Obviously, he won the Super Bowl again back in 1999. Heck of a football player for us, and Washington is getting a heck of a football player as well. As Daniel talked about, what I love about Sonny Styles is his versatility. He's a guy that played safety. He is very good in the pass game. He's got tremendous instincts, tremendous length. He can play on any and every down. I think he is going to be a superstar in this league, and Washington got a great one.
Certainly one in the Big Ten.
Yeah, and he's a great leader too. Yeah, he got the block O. He was the recipient of the block O. He wore number 0 last year. That goes to the Buckeye, right? Either side of the ball. He wore that number because he was the alpha in that locker room, filled with a lot of alphas. You see a guy that can play. And
That's what they call that linebacker.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm liking. It's like Urlacher. I'm loving this.
He really made the jump the second year. Remember who coached him there? Jim Laurinaitis, who was a heck of a linebacker himself, a 3-time All-American at Ohio State. And at Ohio State, when you're an All-American, they plant a tree in your honor. Sonny Styles told James Laurinaitis that was one of his major goals.
Bro, y'all ain't got no receipt.
And once they knew it was an
Y'all get a
All-American,
linebacker.
James Laurinaitis said, let me be.
Y'all ain't got no time after no tight end. None of that. Who? Y'all don't get a linebacker. Y'all got a tight end. We ain't worried about receiver because Ayuk is on the way. It's just a matter when the 49ers release him. That's done season, done deal. But Terry ain't gonna chop liver. The quarterback, the Army is back. And we still got Burks. And we probably gonna receive in the third round.
What should Commanders fans know about what they're getting?
Listen.
Oh man.
Plus, you fix that defense.
I love the guys. I love the brotherhood. I'm excited to be a part of the organization. Coach Quinn, Mr. Peters, the whole staff. I love everyone there. I remember I was there a few weeks ago. I told Coach Quinn, I was like, hopefully I'll be back soon. He said, we'll see you. So I'm super happy.
But we saw it.
You have now been drafted. Your brother Lorenzo Jr. will be drafted this weekend. What do you remember about being little boys and imagining this night?
Man, Zoe's, he's my best friend, my inspiration. Just chasing him around. We dreamed about this since we were 5 years old. So to see it all happen, living out the dream. But it's just the beginning. Just the beginning.
And Lugo together.
That's man.
Good God.
One of the
Woo.
best combine
That's gonna be
performances
nice.
we've ever seen on NFL Network, Sonny Styles. So we're 2 picks behind. The Saints and the Browns picks are in. The Giants are about a minute already on the clock, and then the Dolphins first to 2 picks in this draft. Coming up right here on NFL Network.
100 years ago, no one would insure cars for military members. So they did it themselves. A group of 25 soldiers backed each other. A century later, and we're still serving the military and their families.
All right, so what's
Not
the
just
fuck
because
is
it's the
left?
right
We
thing
gonna
to
do
do.
this in second.
It's in our DNA. Those values our founders shared. Honor, service,
Thank you, brother. So,
integrity. Those are the things we live by. Why our members know we'll be there. USA, taking care of our own.
yes, we.
Spring.
I got no. I ain't got no. What's his name? Oh, you ain't got to roll up.
Official new year for tool people. A time to start new jobs, tackle new projects, and stock up on new tools at Harbor Freight. Whether you're a pro or just like doing things yourself, we got the quality tools and savings to start your new year off right. So come celebrate spring savings at Harbor Freight.
Hey, we built up the line in free agency. I'm loving it. Linebackers in the draft.
One moment, one step at a time.
Damn, we got
How you feel?
We got a white boy. Animal.